I'm Jemiah Benz from Counseling and Psychological Services, and I'm a counselor. Some of the common graduate student stressors are work-life balance, presentations, capstone thesis projects, financial concerns, and stress. Some things you can do to help manage stress: journaling, going outside for a walk, listening to upbeat music, sunshine always helps. Getting up, getting dressed, even if you can't make it to class that day, at least get up and get dressed. Have your favorite meal, a nice ice cream or a dessert. Decrease caffeination use because that increases stress. Seek out humor, that's my favorite one. You should talk to a counselor if you feel overwhelmed, you have excess worry or stress, you aren't eating or sleeping, and you are isolating.
So a lot of our students during our graduate orientation stated that one thing that they were worried about a little bit was time management and being able to balance a lot of different tasks. So can you speak to how mental health and time management correlate and how they have to prioritize that in order for them to be successful?
So a lot of times, mental health and time management does play a role together, because if your time isn't managed well, you're more stressed because of the deadlines. One thing that helps a lot that I tell any and everybody is get a planner and make a to-do list. The more that you write down, the less that you have to keep in your head, and the more that you have in your head, the more thoughts are whirling around. That's higher stress, higher anxiety. But being able to look at a list of things that you have to do, and when you have to do them, it's easier for you to prioritize them because you can actually see them on the paper instead of it just being I remembered I have to do this by 11:59, or this was due on Tuesday.
So when I was a graduate student, one thing that I struggled with was reaching out for help. I guess my pride was in the way. And I can imagine there's other students who may be in that same boat. So what would you recommend for a student who knows that they need help but may not want to ask for it?
When it comes to reaching out, that one is a tough one, especially in mental health, because of all the stigma and labels. Oh, I'm crazy, something's wrong with me. A lot of times there's probably no one that looks like me, or no one's going to understand what I'm going through. But the best way that I can say is to do it scared, because the worst thing you can do is get better.
Yeah.
Honestly, because if you call, we're going to lead you in the right direction. It's not like you're going to call, you're going to come in, and it's going to be like, oh no, we can't help you with that. We're here to give you tools and resources, but one thing about us, we're a confidential space, so we can't always meet you where you are. We just need you to take that initial step and be like, I do need help. Yeah. But after you take that step, we're here with you along.
I appreciate you basically telling us how a student can basically do it scared, right? Mm-hmm. But what if they're still not quite ready to make that step?
We do outreach events, we do presentations, so if you don't want to say anything in front of the camera or the crowd, pull us to the side. We're more than welcome to chit chat with you wherever we are. But another resource that we do have, if you're not ready to come in and talk to somebody, we do have a Tele-mental Health resource, which is called Time and Care. It's an app that everybody on the campus is able to download, register with your coastal email so you can get access to the free services. But on there, they have a Talk Now feature, which is kind of like a chat feature. So you log onto the app, the wait time is generally about 2 minutes, and you can chat with a counselor, and that's 24/7. So if you're up at 3 a.m. trying to finish your paper and need somebody to talk to, hop on the app. Another great resource with the app is they have the Talk Now, but then they also have where you have access to 12 counseling appointments through the app. They're free for you to use however you want to do your 12, but you get 12 every academic year. And I'm always telling people, get free therapy while it's free.
So as a graduate student, right, you're basically entering in a field where the work is much tougher, right? But the work is also more structured and catered to what you're interested in. So for a student who's really passionate about communication, for instance, and they're majoring and they're doing a master's in communication, and they've done well through undergrad, they didn't have any issues. They're in their master's program and this is their first time kind of like struggling with the class. And they want to talk through that. What would be some advice that you would give to a student who's basically experiencing struggles in the classroom for the first time?
Of course, it's a higher education that you're getting, but it's different from undergrad. So knowing that what you did in undergrad, you're not going to be able to do in graduate school because that's two different educations. But then also not beating yourself up because you aren't getting it the way that you thought you were going to. That's the main part, is not self-blaming and criticizing yourself to where it's like, I'm a failure, I can't do this. The thing is, it may be hard right now, but how can I make it easier for myself? Whether that's going to a professor or studying harder or having accommodations, like that's something that you can get as well. And if it's something that you need, it's easier for you to get evaluated or do what you need to now so that you can have those accommodations so that it isn't as stressful as it could be.
So as grad students, sometimes students can already feel that things are different, right? And they want to be proactive, and instead of going to a counselor just yet, they want to take some of their own parameters to help, fix their behavior or help them have a more positive attitude. What are some recommendations that you would have for that?
So some of my recommendations would be, especially if you kind of want to do it yourself before you're comfortable speaking with someone else, it's simple tweaks throughout the day. So, prime example, if you had a not so hot day, get your favorite dessert, go get your favorite meal, dance party in the bathroom, karaoke in the living room, whatever you like, but simple self-care things that you can do for yourself to where even if it was a bad day, I had a good moment in this bad day. And then if you keep doing those little things for yourself, it's like, okay, I'm having more good moments, so I'm having more good weeks. Another good one is actually just getting out of bed and going outside. Sunlight does a lot of good things. Decrease caffeination use. A lot of times caffeine and anxiety are linked because of the nerves. Laughing, music, simple things. Hanging out with friends, going getting your favorite meal, going to a place you enjoy. If there's a spot on campus you like, if you enjoy going to the beach. You can even do those things with someone or without, but just simple tweaks throughout the day that make the day a little bit better. Because one of my favorite things to say is have a great day on purpose, because life's gonna throw stuff at you anyway. And so if I can snatch this great moment and make it mine,
I love
yeah.
that. That's awesome.
Yeah.